Welcome back to the channel. Today I am looking at the Enihell bench type circular saw. I've just purchased this. It's around £135. I was looking for a bench saw to put inside my garage, my workshop here. As you can see, it's getting cluttered with a lot of stuff at the moment. I am making a lot of stuff like this thing here and a few other bits and pieces. I've been needing a bench saw for a while. My old one completely kaput and I haven't got round to replacing it, so this is what I've purchased. It's come in this giant box. Can't really tell you much about it except that it's a 250mm blade, has an 85mm cut depth, which is quite decent, has 45-degree angles as well, so you've got like an angle thing there, so you can use it on angles. Got table extensions, and it's supposed to be quite adjustable. As you can see on the pictures here, it has dust extraction and guards, and also like a saw guide there, and another guide there with the measurements on the table. So we're going to open the box now. I believe you can use it as a tabletop type saw or on its legs. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet, so what I'll do is I'll take it outside now and we'll open the box outside. Here I'm unboxing the saw from the box. There's a bit of a faff with the polystyrene. I got there eventually, so I'm spreading the parts about on my drive here. So just working out from the instructions what I need to do. Started with the black legs that go on the corners. I decided to use my impact driver with a hex fitting, which is a 10mm spanner fitting, you know, the hex type bolts. The bolts just drive into some pre-located nuts that are in the casing. I then moved on to the red brackets or the braces. There are two long ones and two short ones, depending on which side of the saw you're working at. I did need to prise the legs out a little bit to line the holes up, but I suppose you could get around that by just loosening off the nuts that you have on the legs that you just attached. But I decided just to prise them out, because it's a little bit easier. Again, I'm using my impact driver, and the spanners provided as well. There's two spanners provided with this, which simply bolt to the side of the casing when you've done with them. They're also used for removing the saw blades and the saw guide at the top. So this is a speeded up video because this took me around 40 minutes to put together. Probably a little bit fiddly with the nuts and bolts. Now I'm attaching the rubber feet to the bottom of the black legs. Again, you just need a little bit of force. Be careful not to cut yourself. You're probably better off wearing some gloves if you want to do this. Give them a little tap with a hammer if you need to as well. I keep referring to the instructions on this, but to be honest, they're not too particularly clear on what you're supposed to be doing. I'm now attaching some stabilizers on the legs, making sure I had this on the right side of the saw. We know this because the dust extraction port is on that side, so that will be the side that the cutting will be done when the wood is coming off the saw, so it doesn't tip over. So now I'm attaching the extension pieces at the side. There are some brackets again that need to be put on that support. There are two long ones and two short ones, and you need to line them up with the holes. There's like some through bolts that go on the underside of these plates that are used to support the sides when you're cutting wood, obviously, on these extension plates that I'm putting on the side. There are some like through bolts which are made out of plastic that had two nuts in, and you have to get them in the right place along with the brackets that attach to the legs. Otherwise the long one will be too long and the short one will be too short, so you have to get them in the right place. Again, it wasn't too clear on the instructions, but I did get there eventually with this. I found it easier just to lay the saw down for the next one, and I attached the extension plate to the side. I think now you can just about see me putting the through through bolt on and tightening it up with the spanners provided because I couldn't get the impact driver in. I'm just detaching the bracket there. This will help support that on the saw. Once they're fixed in place, you can't move them as well, so there you go. So I decided to stand it up at this point. I'm trying to figure out where the accessories go, namely the saw guides and the fences, and also the push piece, the plastic push piece that you get with it. There's a little bolt that goes on the side of the leg. I couldn't figure out where it went, so I left it for now and decided to put the dust extraction guard on and the fin on the back. To do this, you have to wind the saw completely up, and then with the spanners provided, you just need to undo one bolt inside the saw, which the spanners are quite long, and it just slots into place like that. Now, I did something wrong here, and you might spot it in a minute, because I put the guard on the top here, and again this just slots into place. Quite easy to remove if you need to remove it. I'd already moved the plastic cover around the saw blade. You can see it on the left hand side. I've put my drill on top, and there you see I'm removing the plastic cover for the dust extraction hose. That attaches to the back and underneath the saw there. So there you see I've trying to put the plastic dust cover back and realised I can't get it back on now. So what I need to do is remove the fin. Actually, I didn't need to remove the fin, I just needed to remove the plastic guard at the top, the dust extraction guard. Could have just done that like that and then just slid it over the top. So once I tightened it all back up again, I should have also put the screw in that holds the plastic dust cover in, but I managed to do this while the guard was on. Put it back in place, and there you go. I used the box as reference points for where the accessories went because it wasn't too clear in the instructions. There's a little bolt that came with this which just fastens to the side, and then the push bar there just hangs on the side. It's a little bit silly, that idea. You probably could do with something better. Then the angle guide just slid on a bracket as well, and there you see me attaching the spanners to the bolt. So all the tools and accessories just fit on the saw. It's quite easy to do. They remove quite easily. And there you see the fence doesn't fit there, fits on the other side. And there's the angle guide as well. It just slides into a little bracket. So I'll just move the camera now. So there we go, this is the Enihell circular saw. As you can see, bit of a fiddly job putting that back on. Once you were decided to throw the instructions to one side, because it was just a lot easier to use a bit of common sense and figure out how to do it. That way you at least know what you're doing. The construction of it is quite sturdy. I mean, you've got to put it together on the legs. You could just take the legs off and use it on a bench if you wanted. The tools attached to the side, again, had to figure this out without the instructions. So you've got your little push through bit there, then you've got your angle finder here, just slides onto that. You've got your spanners bolted to it there. This is your dust cover for the dust extraction hose if you're using dust extraction. Got your position of the saw, depth there, sliding it up and down, and of course you've got your angle finder there. So this also helps you position that, if just by pushing it in. once you've found your thing, you can just lock it off there once you've found your angle, and obviously adjust your height. Down here, another bracket for your saw guide, just clips into place, and also a cable tidy at the side. So this is UK plug, 13 pin standard. So we could plug this in, give it a quick whirl, see what happens. You also got brackets on the back legs there, that stops the saw tipping over. So yeah, I think we'll get it going now and see what happens with the saw blade now, and just see how well it performs. This is being coated with something, I don't know what it is. It is a metal base. These are quite solid as well. So yeah, let's give it a test. As you can see, I used an impact drill to tighten the nuts up, but it does come with spanners like I've just shown you at the side, so you could just use the spanners that are provided, just a little bit quicker with an impact drill. So yeah. Nice clean straight edge cut, that, no splintering. This is an old pallet, by the way. It's okay. Gotta say that the fence is quite sturdy as well. It's clamped it quite well to the board there. It does move really nice on that guide, and once it's clamped into place, it grips the guide quite well, and it is quite sturdy. That's probably one of the best I've ever seen, to be honest. You do have a guider here on the measure, it tells you whereabouts it is. If you are measuring things, it's always best to go from your blade to your guide to get a precise measurement. You do have the push thing here as well if you need it. So guys, there we go, the Enihell bench saw. Has to be said, for the money I've paid for it, it's not that bad quality. The body of it is an ABS plastic, so it probably, to make it lightweight and cheaper to make. It's quite sturdy on the legs, and like I said, you can take the legs off and use it as a bench saw if you was going to use it on a bench and set it into your workshop. But I need to be able to move it about, and it's a nice height, is that. These are not adjustable, you have to remove them, so, but they are quite solid. So when you're cutting sheet material out, this is a bit of a project I've got, so squaring the ends off of that, and it's done quite a good job. There was one on the two bolts and nuts left over, don't know what they were for, it wasn't too clear in the instructions. So yeah, they must have put some extras in just in case you needed them. So there you go, that's the Enihell bench saw. What else can I say? All I can say is thanks for watching the video, hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in another video soon. Thanks for watching.